Good evening, everyone. It is Delenn Russell, and we're here on a Wednesday night, just puttering around, doing a little bit of this and that, and making a few different minor changes to, what do I want to say? And I'm trying to think what I was looking at. No, that's not going to work. Zip size to throat? No. Okay, so let's just go like this. I'm just setting my... There we go, that's better. I was setting my hydrate to tea rather than water. Usually I have water, but... well, actually, usually at this point in the day I have water. Earlier in the day I have coffee. But setting everything, and we are going to putter around a little bit in-game and see what we can get to, you know, to sort of trouble we can get ourselves into. I have not been doing a whole lot. Let's just do the fly around while we're safe. So nothing much has happened in the base. Oops, I guess I can take that off. But this morning we spent some time going down to the mob farm and changing it up a little bit. So this part still works as normal, but we've switched it so that I can actually turn the farm off, which means that although these are all still synchronized, when I turn the farm off, all the water will stay running, as opposed to the other way around. And the big project this morning, or well, big-ish, was to add the partial drop chute as far as we can, right down to the bottom. And that got us some supplies and a couple of scares from some spiders, but yeah, nothing too exciting. And I still don't know where the mystery mobs are coming from, because as far as I can tell, this place should be lit up pretty well. I may have missed 1 or 2 blocks, but I don't know where the mystery mobs are coming from. I just tend to have creepers showing up down here. And I don't get it, because there is not, as far as I can see, any weird ledges they should be coming from. So I don't know. I do not know. But that's okay, that's the breaks. So, it's that one, and then, oops, I forgot to go the other way. Do this way. Through things, through the farms. Okay. So these farms appear to be running, which is good news. Oops, I can turn off that. And I have a little bit of dirt to get rid of. Hey, Benson, how are you? I saw your request to get whitelisted on the server. So, yeah. I'm more scared than ever, because I wonder what sort of trouble you can get up to. Just kidding. It's always a pleasure to have you on the server. Now let's see if this actually worked. Ooh. I have a new mention. What do I have? Did I miss anything? Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so I had sent a little blurb to Manky Hamster, and oh, good morning, James. Welcome in from Australia. I'd sent a little blurb to Manky Hamster, just telling him about the app I usually put as an overlay on my screen, which is the Twitch chat overlay. And basically, it's nice because it's clear, it's click through, and I can just keep on playing, and the text sits on my screen, just like it does for you guys to see. So I actually technically have like 2 or 3 versions of chat going all at once. But yeah, that's the way it works. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here and clean out some of that dirt. You can't really hear it right now, but I'm sucking down the throat rescue tea from David's Tea. I don't know if they have David's... Oh, lovely. I don't know if they have David's Tea in the US, but up here, we have it. And they've got some cool herbal teas that are caffeine-free. And you scared me, you crazy thing. There we go. But there's weird little holes that I had over here because farms work great, except that, as you can see on my map, the weird block changing, yeah, I didn't chunk align them. So from time to time, if I get too far away, the portions outside this section, they unload, and then I get into all kinds of trouble. So, yeah. That and the Endermen seem to like me. But when I keep it loaded, it works nicely. You can see I picked up a few pieces from this morning that I forgot to put away, so got that to do as well. I'm all about the putting things away, right? Okay, let's just take some of these. which seem to be working. Yay! So the farm, as I say, when I keep it loaded, it works nicely. When I don't, it's problematic. Good evening, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Apologies to you, because Fantastic Sherlock Fox, being my better half, had asked that I bug the kids and get them to clean up some of the house, because they've been making a right royal mess of just leaving things everywhere, as preteens and teenagers are wont to do. And unfortunately, I did not actually do so. He's probably figured that out by now. But yeah, problem. And I suspect the Fantastic Sherlock Fox toddlers are the same. Yeah, but toddlers, you can't ask them to clean up. The older ones, you should be able to. So really, if I was actually smart about the whole thing, SMRT and all that, I would actually move the farms probably up here, I think. But anyways, actually, no, not up here. I just realized, yeah, not up here. But I'd move them somewhere closer to the base so they could actually get loaded more often. Yeah, I'm just not that organized. You hassle them yourself? Okay, well, that works, I guess. They don't... Yeah, the youth and the adults just don't listen. Or, sorry, the little kids and the bigger ones don't listen. Okay, let's put some of this stuff away. You can see that I'm starting to get returns, which is nice. I have a separate one. This is for now. I know it's going to run out of space, but it'll do. And I actually have enough that I've got an orange box up there that says, I think it's like my liftoff box. Yeah. And I'm just tucking these in here. They're the... Oh, whoops, wrong one. The mailbox I was supposed to put away. Okay, well, I guess I could put the mailbox contents away. I just threw stuff in there when I was at the mailbox just so I wouldn't lose anything. And yeah, didn't think about actually putting it away. I mean, that would be, oh, I don't know, sensible. So we've got things that belong elsewhere. Where did I put that? Easter basket. I'm just not organized today. There we go. So the Easter basket can go there. And this will be for things... See, these are all the hints for the Easter clues. And then there's... Oops. Yeah, that's the box that says Happy Easter. I actually haven't read that. I should get around to it. And this is my response, like the colorful eggs thing. Participation trophy for the Easter hunt. Random pink tulip. Happy Easter. Hoppy Java Easter. Yes. And some rabbit droppings, which I was saying this morning. Having had rabbits over the years, it's kind of too bad these can't be either green or brown. Although using the pumpkin seeds for that is just perfectly fine. And I have a golden Easter carrot. Yay! So all the Easter stuff can go in the Easter basket. How convenient. I'm just making sure, yeah, these are the straw bales donated by other members of the server. And Zip's melon patch. I'm not quite sure what the use of that is, but that's cool. I'll take. Thank you. Thank you very much. And truthfully, I should be having a carrot patch, but the thatch is more useful at the moment. Some of the cookies went. That's nice to see. Some of them did not, but that's okay, because I got those from just trading with the... Oh, right, meant to empty that. Trading with the villagers. Do I care about that on stream? How full is this box? Yeah, I do. So what I'm going to do is I will confuse myself rather royally. Block of gold, that goes in the other box. I really shouldn't be sorting on stream. It actually bugs me to do so. On the other hand, I'm letting myself do it because... Oh, excuse me, buddy. Because just not feeling 100%, I'm a little fuzzy, and so it's a great way to chill yourself out when you're feeling a little fuzzy in the head. Okay. Then those can go in the other box. Where? That the... Well, if you don't like it, don't stand there. I mean, really. The villagers figured it out. How come Big Metalhead can't figure it out? That one's got to come with me, and that box can go away. At some point I'll find a good place to put memory things, but haven't yet. Okay, so I don't need that. I have far too many arrows. Yeah, 2. Sure, I'll take that. And I don't need the redstone right now. Because the next thing up that I'm intending to build is rather literally a very generic pen for the cows. That's it. We've had cows tied up out front for quite a while. And so I'm just going to build some of that. Something for them. Okay, and that's the rocket box. A couple empties for Fantastic Sherlock Fox if he's got the time or interest. And I think that should be it, right? Right, okay. Those can go over there. I don't think I need chests for that. My spare chests can go in the chest. No bad puns intended. Alright. I'm about as disorganized as I'm gonna get. What's this? Do I have room? Yes. And I'll put away the project boxes later. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm missing. These two. It's like, what is that empty space? No? Over there. Alright. Of course, as usual. Figured I didn't change it this morning. I managed to make it through the whole stream with my input still set to the default, but the echo was starting to bother me a little bit. Okay, nope, not that. Let's go a little more complicated. What do I want? Spruce. I want fences. I'm going to make it like this one a little bit. Yeah, normally I color code the shulkers, so my generic project boxes they're not meant to stay full, so it's random. This is going to become a toolbox, but I haven't got anything in there at the moment, because most of the default tools are just like hanging out here. Then that's sort of my rescue box / toolbox at the moment. And then that's my egg box. It's all white. And then there's my liftoff box. It's all, you know, orange for the firework. And then gold as in precious. Because I like using the light blue that could be diamond for something else. So like just, you know, other stuff like the Easter basket. And then this end is usually the extras. Oh, are you kidding me? No, I don't want to deal with that. Not interested. Not interested. If you want to go out there and deal with those monstrosities, you can go right ahead. What are you doing up there? Okay. So I'm going to putter around a little bit and... Oh, that's what I was looking for. Parts. Okay, so I needed fences, logs, planks. Is that it? Fences,
hello there.
logs, planks in 2 colors. Hello, how are you? Let's see, who have I got? Neon! Oh, yeah. That's always a pain to figure out what version of HTML is used. Okay, so we've got oak and spruce, and I might as well go with that. Seems to fit everything else. So we've got spruce, and that'll match the barn out front. And I'll take some more of these fences. And let's see, let's make it... Actually, I don't really want it as steep out front, so I'll take planks. These ones don't need nearly that many, but because I can't split them in half in-game, then I guess I'll take them all. No, not those. You know, actually, I don't think I'm going to need quite this much. Let's go with those instead. That way I can start with spruce around the outside, but then rather than spruce planks there, I can actually try the stripped oak. They're a little bit lighter, gives it a bit more contrast. And then I'm going to need buttons galore, but I can do the buttons out of oak, I think. Do I have any buttons kicking around? Yes. Do. Let's move this one over there and grab those buttons. And I think that's about all she has room for. Alrighty. How did I do the roof? Oh, okay, so it's not torches. Got lanterns. Let's just swap this for that. Anything else I don't particularly need? No. Always need patching material, so okay, I guess we're good. Wrong way. I'm gonna go out and drop off the hay bales, and then I'm going to go the other direction and drop off the seeds, and then we can deal with the cows. There's a million different silly things I can putter at. Oof. Rehydrate, everybody.
Everybody hydrate!
Not applicable. Tea! Tea ounce. What did I do? That's really weird. Set hydrate T1. Oh, whoops. Apparently the other way around. 1 ounce tea. There we go. Let's try it again. Make sure it works.
2, 4, 6, 8,
That's better.
hydrate!
Okay, there, we can handle that. You know, honestly, that's not a very good tea, I'll be honest with you, but it's probably because I didn't actually scrub the mug out before I put the tea in it, so it's probably my fault. Alright, 2 can go down there. Let's see what we've got for seeds. Oh, good grief. Okay. You might as well take them all at once, you know? And I'm holding the third one. Let's go get some seeds. More trips. Because I'm silly. Because I'm silly like that. Just a temporary holding base, please. No. Sure. Why not? That makes no sense. Why not? Let's put this up there then. Alright. There we go, problem solved. Yeah, offhand makes a lot of sense. Actually, these will fit well enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this one there. Me and my stupid system. You ever have one? I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but does anybody else you know actually have favorite place to put things? Just about all times? Okay, that one. This one. Let's throw half of those over there so everything else goes where it needs to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Especially your Silk Touch pick? Yeah. I don't carry my Fortune pick most of the time. Usually I only carry Silk Touch. But occasionally I screw it up and the Silk Touch gets elsewhere. Okay, so that's my emergency box. That's why I have a barrel that just sits around, because it's not the world's most useful item. But on the other hand, it means that I've got plenty of space for things to not just randomly go in spots. Okay, and this one had seeds, and then this one did not. Okay. Close enough. It'll fit. So when I go over to the next farm, the first one will unload, and hopefully it won't break itself, but sometimes it does. Beaver's Botter Osmond, you are so noisy. I mean, it's useful information, but it's not the kind of thing I need to know. Why did I box up the seeds? Because I'm going to do... Don't ask. Today, I guess we get to do it this way then. What's in here right now? Nothing, nothing. Most of the time I don't do it this way, but... Oops. There we go. I don't usually do it that way, but I was dumb and left my ender chest over there, and I don't have a spare. Yeah, literally, it's just destruction. Like, I'm just destroying them in a supposedly at some point useful manner. Come on. Last season I actually ended up using the bone blocks as a building block, so it wasn't an entire waste. And I'm still asking myself why I built this farm, because it's out of range and doesn't actually... Like, if this one's loaded, the other three are not. And this one's actually kind of in a bad place because I should be putting fences up here. Okay, this is going to take forever in a day. Especially if I do that. Fine, rinse and repeat. But only part of it this time. So we need this. And that one. I'm being weird.
Hello?
That's a very interesting name. There, okay, that will do. Then I can rinse and repeat, right? Pleased to meet you. Yeah, I don't think I've met you before, so I'm always curious to ask how is it that you found the channel, and like what attracted your attention about it? Because as I said, I'm always glad to meet new people. I also like to know what does and doesn't work, or what people notice. I didn't put the buttons in, that's why. Buttons, where'd you put the buttons? Okay. There. Now we got a little bit more speed going. Lanterns first. These are the piece of dirt. This one goes over there, and then beyond that I don't particularly care, so let's go with these. Cool. Well, thank you very much. I'm battling a little bit of a cold today, so I'm a bit less interesting than usual. I'm not super active, I guess. I'm not usually a very high energy stream, so we're just pretty chill. Doing pretty good. I'm playing on the Dadcraft73, his Java server he's got for Patreon members. He's got 3 of them, one for Bedrock, one for... Oh, actually, where am I? I know where I put my bed. One for Bedrock, one for Java, and one for modded Java. But you see me using a fair amount of quality of life mods, just because it makes my game more enjoyable for me, and that keeps me playing. Whereas the vanilla is fine, such as vanilla is, but I'd like to, I guess I wouldn't say mix it up, that's not the word. Not get lost. That's probably the best one. So where it all started was I wanted a map. That was the first one. I wanted a map. Unfortunately, that's not where it ended. So you'll see all kinds of mods. I'm carrying around a couple stupid shulker boxes, which I surely shouldn't be doing. They're empty at the moment. But I was dumb and left my other ender chest at another farm. Which is not too bad because we're going to head out there, grab that, and then move to the main section. I'm coming off of this morning having built a... Oh, I guess I could have flown. See? Now that I have rockets, I keep forgetting I can actually use them. You know, that could be useful. Sorry, I just came off of having made a very slow but functional all mob farm, I guess. So it does the trick. It's not, you know, your world's fastest farm, but it does what it needs to do, and that's really the key. Apparently this is a slow one because it unloaded. So that's not good news. Are you going to keep moving? Okay, nothing to sort there. Nothing to sort there. Wow, that's quite the content. I'm impressed. Okay, so let's go down. Yeah, okay, so things are busted again. That's fine. Put that there. I should get things working again. It's just the fact that I was silly and didn't make them chunk aligned. So when the thing half unloads, it's problematic. And I'm going to random stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there in some point. This one, that one, and this one. I wish I knew. Unfortunately, I play both sorry, I have very itchy nose. I play both Bedrock and Java, but unfortunately something like bud powering, I absolutely don't know. If anyone in chat does know, feel free to chime in. You're very welcome to do so. But bud powering is not one of my strengths. So I'm assuming you're referring to the varying different levels of redstone signal put out by growing buds of amethyst, I think. Something like that. It's an interesting feature. I just haven't played around with it. Though there are several people that play on Dadcraft73's Java server, and not Java, sorry, the Bedrock server, and there are some real redstone, I don't know if they're gurus, but redstone addicted individuals. Just one second, I'm just gonna go wipe my nose. I'll be right with you. Other than transmission through blocks, I'm not particularly sure about that. I'd have to look it up. It's not something I've actually played with. Okay, good. Things are coming back through again. Fighting for victory! How did I get a hay bale in there? I just put it in the wrong box. Alright. Ah! See? There are brains in here. Some pretty good ones, too. Where is... Ah, there it is. Alright. Junk cleanup. Now, because I took my bed with me, let's go put the spawn in the sheep farm. I'm going to do a little bit more putter in there while I'm at it anyways. You can see, here are the cows. There are the said cows. And this is the sheep farm, which is all conveniently sheared. Ugh. I swear, some of these days... Let's go put this out by the cows, because if I put it in here, I will be picking things up and putting things down 30,000 times. Hello, Mr. Moo Cow. Put this out by you, okay? Temporary the barrel stuff. One and two, three. We don't need rockets for that. Let's keep a weapon, just in case. There we go. Itchy, itchy, itchy. All right. Could actually build sorters down here, but I'm not that organized. There's the cart. Doesn't seem to be down here, so that's good news. This is what I wanted the cows for, is I'm short on some item frames, but I haven't yet traded a cartographer. You know, that would be sensible. Right, what I have? Black, dark gray, light gray. Well, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Hopefully I can find a way of providing interesting content. I do try. Or should I say, I am very trying. How's that? This one, blue, purple, magenta, pink, red. Oops. No problem. Thanks a million. I'll be back tomorrow noon Eastern time, and hopefully we'll have some more information. Unlikely you'll catch the Australians, though. They tend to be at work at that point in time. All right. One. I really should increase my storage. You're definitely working. Yeah, you're probably really working. I mean, there's a few that I could razz that... Yes, I'm in Mountain Time, so Thursdays you'll see me on probably about 11 Mountain Time to 1 or 2 Mountain Time, usually. Sometimes, not Mountain Time, sorry, Central Time. Sometimes you'll see me on a little earlier than that, but... Not earlier, sorry, a little bit later than that. But I usually do 2 slots on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So Tuesday, it will be your time if you're Central. Then it'll be 11 in the morning or 6 p.m. I wish I had some of our Bedrock people memorized, but I don't actually have them memorized. That would be, you know, organized, which is not something I tend to be. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Wrong one. I figured out why my... I was complaining this morning to Fantastic Sherlock Fox that my button changing on the various different collections on my Stream Deck was pokey. And it just turns out it had to do with the background picture. For some reason, the one I really liked is a slow one to load. And so, resulting effect is that it takes a while to get through. So it takes longer to get to my fancy schmancy buttons and to the sound clips and all that jazz. Okay. Back out. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate it. Okay, did I get those? Yes. Won't be too many more trips. I have yet to figure out how to do sorting that goes upwards. I mean, I guess I could use the dropper towers like I did
2, 4, 6,
for the seeds.
Everybody hydrate.
Thank you very much for the hydrate. The creeper explosion, the reason I didn't react to that one is that that one's on a randomizer, such that we will sometimes get the actual boom to go with it, other times it's just a sizzle that goes nowhere. So I kind of waited because I couldn't see the creeper out of my corner of my eye, so I was pretty sure it wasn't real, but definitely confirmed not real when I didn't get the boom afterwards. Bubble elevators are great. I like them, and actually that probably would solve my problem in the other area. I just, at the time when I built that, didn't have soul sand and just haven't got around to replacing. The other problem is that that elevator has to be the only 1 block wide in the center. The other disadvantage, unfortunately, is if you're trying to put it into things, then you need to have your row that you're putting it into be wider. Like, so for example, with the seed thing, with the dropper elevator, I can set a box right on top and it shoots straight into the box from below. But if I'm doing it as a bubble elevator, I have to have the items come up the elevator, spill over into a hopper, which then in turn gets taken into into whatever the box is. So looking at a sideways motion or downward motion, which means that at minimum you're one block wider. It's not a big deal. Like, it's just one of those picky things, but if you're doing a double chest, it becomes a 3-block row instead of a 2-block row, and on and on and on. Okay, and this one, and that one. This is probably not the world's most exciting content, but I haven't done this for a couple weeks, I guess? You're right. That's why I should go back and do that. I mean, if I didn't have those cows waiting tied to a post, I probably would go back and do that today. It's really appealing to squirrel off in that direction. Really appealing to squirrel in that direction. But I didn't get to the cows this morning, and I didn't get to the cows this afternoon, so I should probably just deal with it. You know, sunshades and all. If you get that reference, you're younger than I thought. Okay, that was dumb. Let's go this way. Nope. Do I have any more grays? Do you fit? No, you don't fit. What about these? Apparently I have brown to go upstairs. Lots of it. Alright. Start on this side. Do I have any white? Yes. Not there. Come on. It's great that you can pick stacks and just put them over top, but sometimes that method of putting things in boxes can be a little pokey if you have got just a few stacks. Come on. Pink. Purple. It's like playing the sorter games with my niece and nephew. My nephew just turned 1, and he is very, very good at sorting shapes and colors and so on. And this feels a lot like trying to play with him. You actually open the side a couple of times and the water goes everywhere. That's the other problem with the bubble column, is I can't really afford, on the space I've got in those seed farms, I can't really afford to tear it all up if I spill the water all over the tracks. So, I don't know. I have to figure out a way to get that upgraded, updated. Alright. So this should be our last run up top. Should be. I don't know what I did. Give me just 1 second. Not sure quite what I did, but for some reason I am so incredibly itchy on the end of my nose. It's kind of like I swallowed a hair or something. Not hair, sorry. Like I inhaled a hair or something. I mean, I do shed a fair bit sometimes, but this is crazy. And it's like I should be getting additionally stuffed up like an allergy, that sort of tickle, but it's not because there's no allergies. I don't know. Don't know what I did. I heard that. I'm not going down for it. White. I have extra white sheep down at the bottom, so I'm not surprised the white's ahead of the others. You can never have too many white sheep because those are the ones that in a pinch, if you don't quite have enough of what you're looking for in colors, you can always change it up. Or not change it up, sorry, dye the wool. And this one. Okay. It said cows, right? It's been 45 minutes. Queen of puttering. All right. 1, 2. That's close enough. 3, 4. Yep. I'm not going upstairs with this. There we go. Okay. Make sure respawn's set. Apparently it's nighttime. That's where I put it. I was wondering where this thing had gotten to. Uh-huh. Come on. Be faster than my fist, please. Hello? You ever have one of those moments where as soon as you do something stupid like that, you kind of go, oh, yeah, I did know that. Anyways, I didn't actually have to build it this big, like with this big space in the middle. Just realized that. I could have made this an awful lot smaller by just putting 2 rows of 8 and a couple extras back to back in a big long thing. And then the whole building would have been an awful lot smaller. As it is, when it's like the quarter of the size of my castle, that's kind of sad. Oh well. Tearing it down and rebuilding it, while tends to be the thing that I'm sort of known for, I think I won't this time. Upper. There we go. Alright. Hello, cows. Okay, I'm gonna go all cheaty on us. Where did I put it? Oh, that's not the one. Stealing a design from, we've got the Ultimate Minecraft Builder's Guide. Nice little magazine, you know, you pick up in the store. Print items. I love it when they have a medieval castle that doesn't even look like a medieval castle. But anyways, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the giant farmyard, except I want the small. No. I did this last time. Alright, so I want the small barn. Where did we put that barn? Because there's a big design and a small design, and I don't want the big one. No? There it is. Okay. And they... Oh. Of course. And I love their plank design because it turns out that they've got a texture pack on. Well, not so helpful. And other than that, it's a very boring barn. So, plan B, we're going to steal something that people have seen before because bookmark, because I used it on Vault Hunters instead. So very much the design that we used inside, we're going to build out here. And then I can probably put the sheep into it as well and tear this sucker down. So let's see, where do we want to put this new one? what the plan is, in case anybody's curious, I'm going to show this real quick on screen. You guys have all seen this before, or most of you have seen this before. Okay, references. Where did I put that? References? Sketch map. All right. Zoom this one out a bit more. So you can see that we've got ourselves somewhat similar to what you're seeing on screen there. Bouncy zippy. All right. Our castle is ridiculously big by comparison. It's just the way it's going to be. But I need to put in town walls and such from the castle on down. So what we're going to do is go from the castle down, and then all this is going to be like housing and stuff in between. But there's a big section you can see just south of the castle on the map, on the little sketch map, where it's probably in this zone, and they actually have farms and such. And truthfully, they would have had farms all down the south side as well. So that will allow me opportunity to not have to have the farm so far away. Truth is, it's actually not going to fit because my map will have that be far too far away. Big flat zone you see on the very right-hand side of the screen. Yeah, very retro. On the right-hand side of the screen is flattened out on purpose because we're going to put a monastery. You can sort monastery. Monastery. You can see it in sort of the southeast section of the map. I was just going to circle it, but then I realized my mouse doesn't go over top. But in any case, so on this right-hand side section, that's where we're going to put a monastery, which I have yet to come up with a design for. Dragging my feet, so I really need to get back at it. Alrighty, so if that's the case, though, I have space, assuming that rather than putting the bridge out past the castle as that design appears, I did a lot of homework and discovered that in order to build the castle based on a somewhat real place, even though mine's big, we have gone with instead, let's turn off the sketch map, we're going to go with model 1. So that's sort of more what my castle was based onto. So the road would have come off the left-hand side that you're just seeing off screen, and then wrapped around the front, which means our road in the map can come around this direction, wrap around the front, and then go in. And our side entrance was actually on this back corner, but in our map, there's no point in doing that because this is an absolutely huge canyon, and we're not going to make any use of that whatsoever. So all that to say that when I'm taking liberties with the sketch map, then we're doing good, right? Because you throw that up over top, and we can see we've got plenty of space still to put in farms and things closer to the village without me having to build a bazillion different houses. Wow, Neon, that is deep. I'll have to see how that turns out. So our city, our road can come down past the sheep farm probably. And then, but the actual fences will be probably just about where the current malfunctioning villager wheat farm is. I'm seeing the golem standing inside, it's distracting me. And it's all tiny, so apologies people on phones. But the fence can come down along the edge of this hill that we see in there, and then work out along the water edge, because we lucked out and kind of got a similar shape. Yoink. See, there's a similar shape.
Hello?
And I keep saying I should get onto these fences and get onto the buildings, but I keep thinking I should lay out the roads first, and in all honesty, it's just far too much work. Yes, city planner. Being perfectly blunt, when I'm not playing Minecraft, I actually do play Cities Skylines, so you take it. You take your lumps. The city planner. And welcome in this evening, Mr. Owl. It is Wednesday, so I'm assuming that the fine Owl household is going to be hanging out later on in DC's stream, as will I. But I don't think I'm going to go right to DC's stream, obviously. I've got other things to do in the meantime. Okay, so enough jawing, because I can talk all day if you let me. And Mr. Owl could probably believe that without too much effort. And yeah. I keep talking about these fences and stuff, So I should probably actually put the city walls in fairly soon. So maybe I'll start that next week, because then I can go along the ridge. You're not seeing it here because I keep moving it. There we go. You can probably go along the ridge, wrap around the bottom, and then come up the east side a little bit. And that will get me a loop that I can work with and allows me to actually cut it off. Pretend that, yeah, that I'm not actually using a lot of this stuff. And I can skip some of this major canyon down in the bottom. Just fence a lot of the intersection off. And then make villager houses and stuff. And I don't have to worry about the farms and whatnot as much. So, all that to say, yeah, got it. Done. Done, done, done. All right. And as I did that, I didn't decide where I wanted to put the cow farm. Sensible. Very sensible. Just about right where it is. Therefore, it's right. It's not right where I want it. Where did I put my reference picture? Trying to load up the reference picture and can't seem to figure it out. Library. Sorry about this. Full playlist. I'm willing to bet it was probably a YouTube video. Or stable. Yep, it was. Okay, just 1 second. Not quite the picture I wanted, but hey, it will do the trick. Okay. Grabbed the bed. I'll put a build over here, so yes, this is a fine spot. Alright. Free hydrate for anybody?
2, 4, 6, 8, everybody hydrate!
Okay, let's get onto it and actually pick up pieces and build this sucker. This one. This and that. This. I don't have food. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Nope, not that. 1, 2. You'll need those for later. And I know what I'm missing. I'm missing spruce for the planks. So I wanted a 2-tone roof. And as much as I would love to have birch floors, because I have a ton of birch. Oh, okay, yep. There we go. Cows are not good at keeping floors clean enough for birch to work. All right, okay. Geekout. Oh, okay. So Fantastic Shock Fox, go ahead and pick one of the other 5 categories and just trigger it. Sure, go for it. So green would be music, I believe. So Janine, 2 songs about motorcycles. 2 songs about motorcycles. Okay. Well, a little late. Yeah. I think we did this one once before, so I think we'd come up with Easy Rider and Oh, phooey. Easy Rider and... Well, I guess it's not really about a motorcycle. Yeah, it's something about a Harley. I keep thinking of Leader of the Pack, but that's not about a motorcycle. That's about, like, the motorcycle rider. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4. Okay, let's build this one to the same spot, I think. Yeah. So we've got back to... I'm also mirror flipping it compared to what I did before. Okay, so we had 7, I think. Where did my next screen go? No. Need this pattern there. Ah, perfect. Okay. 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then 3 in between. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that'd be 3. You want to say that one too? This is where we need someone like Badkratz. Because Badkratz is pretty good at that. 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, let's see, 3 sets? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1. Go away. 1, 2, 3. Oh, too close to the hill. Fine. I really want to walk around the end. Yes. That one out. Okay, so we've got 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Always a little nervous when I'm working on things right now and digging down, because it really freaks me out a bit, just because I've run into the caverns below. Shouldn't be scared of the caverns below. There's really absolutely no reason to be, but it's the idea that I might dig through and fall into one, or dig through and have mobs waiting for me. It's only because I blew myself up a couple times trying to do that. There's one thing you know very little about is music and counting. Well then, maybe we should have our daughter take you through the music theory app that her teacher had her use at school. I actually was quite impressed. Without, too much musical theory nerdism on here, it's actually a pretty good starting system. It's you to learn the names of the letters of the notes on the staff and so on. And truthfully, I know Fantastic Sherlock Fox is already pretty good at that stuff. But we're all rusty. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Actually, if there's a free account for it and or a very, very inexpensive account for it, I think that'll be a great gift for my mother-in-law. Because she's been trying to teach herself to read music for quite some time. And this might be a great way to do it. Honestly, that'd be cool to learn the mandolin. I know how to play guitar, but it'd be kind of cool to learn something even more ancient, I guess. My grandfather-in-law, I guess? So Fantastic Sherlock Fox's grandfather plays in a band. Like, he's in his 90s and he plays in a band. Really cool gentleman. But anyway, where that story's going is to say that I think one of his partners had played mandolin, which is kind of neat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Can't count. See? That's really good at this counting business. All right. And then at the back, now my question becomes, actually, is the orientation correct or not? Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll figure it out. It'll stick out. So we'll have one side here, and then it'll head out towards the center. A little bit long, actually. Now I don't like the orientation. Ugh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I can take out these ones. I just can't make up my mind today. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Sure, definitely. Now, Neon, which particular picture were you referring to? Because I never know. One of the things is so many people know each other in my stream from Dadcraft's community that I never really know which picture you're referring to. I'm assuming that you mean Dadcraft's, so I can check it out over there. No problem. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. Block. Y is beyond me. That's a weird length. Alter on the fly.
Hello?
Hello. Oh. I'm afraid not, Snowcakes. The reason for that is I'm playing on a server that belongs to a content creator. And this is it's whitelisted for his Patreon members. So I would love to say yes, but you're certainly welcome to stay and hang out and give suggestions. While I don't respond well to backseat gaming, suggestions are welcome. So let's see. And I've got a design I'm working with, but I'm just slightly altering it on the fly just because when I built it once before, I didn't like the width of the back section here. And so I'm changing it up. 1, 2, 3. And then, how many pens do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just fits. Excellent. I like that. All right. So we have a good old who is. So there's the info for Dadcraft73, the person that we are paying Patreon to. He plays on the Truly Bedrock SMP, if you're familiar with that one, and he does his YouTube content and Twitch streams multiple times a week as well. So yeah, that's the individual I'm working with. Working with? That's not the word I'm looking for. Okay, how high did we go? 1, 2, 3. 3 high or 4 high? 3 high. It's like that matches. So we've got 2, 3, 2, 3. 1 across. Reach 1, 2, 3, and then a bunch across. 1, 2, 3 out. DC is the entity in charge. Interesting way of putting it. Apparently Neon and I are both out of date on the commands. I didn't actually use the DC one as such, like just plain old DC, and the reason I didn't is because this way I can actually have a who is command for myself that ends up matching up with the DC one. So like it's a similar format. It's who is, it's just me, and then who is DC. And I think I did it too short. Yeah, too short. Don't like the look of that. Did I put... I did. Those can go away. That'll work. This one block is just being a pain because it's taking up a slot. Don't need that. Oh, that's gonna bug me too. Sure, you go over there. Yeah, I think I like that height better. Because then I can do a lower half slab floor without hitting my head on it. All right. It is a barn after all. Since when do people hit their heads on the top of the barn? But now you can see the real purpose. I mean, aside from me zipping through parts of the earth, you can now see the real purpose into why I choose to use the free cam. No, it's a bug. Definitely a bug, not a feature. Wow! I actually didn't think that people hadn't used that first here today. I didn't realize that. Congratulations on being first 10 minutes after the hour. 1, 2, 3. And you know, I'm actually building something, which is an improvement. Come on. Oh, or not. Okay, fine. We'll do it this way then. My biggest fan too. Oh my goodness. Knocking Hobo Zim off the chart. What are we at today? 445. Wow. So the way the biggest fan redeem has worked was when we started, it was 5. And every time it's been redeemed for someone new to be my biggest fan, it's been another 5. And then another 5. And now we're at 445, so I'm impressed. I'm just going to let that one climb. Oh, sorry about that. Hobo Zim's not allowed to stay the biggest fan. That's great. Okay, so let's pause this. Next scene. Do the roof. Sure, we can do the roof. This isn't being done. It's like I'm trying to use pauses in YouTube as almost virtual screenshots. But unfortunately, the problem with that is that it had a great big subscribe sticker right in the middle. It's like, really? No, this way. Next freeze, please.
Hello.
There we go. Much better. Okay, so for the insides, this one, we've got I can't even spell today. Oh, well, welcome in, Stormy. I don't recall who does Wednesdays anymore, so the fine owl crew will need to refresh me. I know it used to be Thursdays, and then it was Fridays and Saturdays. Like, honestly, it's been months since things changed, and I still can't seem to remember it. Okay, where did I put scaffolding? All right, what do we have here? Oh, I'm going to go to spruce really shortly. Darn it! I hate it when I do that. Okay, well, that's fine. This one? Wow, perfect timing. Let's see, this one. Oops. Well, that would be a boo-boo. So if that's supposed to be the middle, you can see I kind of made an oopsie-daisy. Which means the whole thing ends up longer than I expected. And that's not going to work. So, of course it can't be 3 pieces wide. Oh well. So let's clear that one up and take out these 2. That one, this one. And just put it there, there. And this one, oh, not that one. Just drop it down. Come on. Because I can reach the floor, or are you just being dumb? Okay, fine. You're being dumb. That's fine. Because it's Java scaffolding, that's why it's being dumb. It will let me when it wants to. See? Go. All right, so that one worked out, and I ran out of blocks. Now, I wanted to put the sheep and the cows in this one, so let me just go double check how wide one of the units of the sheep thing needs to be. Oops, this way. It's got to be 1, 2, 3, and then I can rinse. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 5, 6, 7. 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 4. And then I can reuse the center section 5, 6, and 7. It's got to be 7 blocks wide. So let me go measure that because I don't think it's going to work. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. It's not. Cows will still go over here. That's fine. We can handle that. But I blew it on the roof. Again. So I do need that extra width. What is this? Count twice, build 3 times? 4 times? I don't know. So that's where some of my stuff came from. Are we referring to large quantities of, oh, possibly wet jerky? Actually, I was the first one to get a mailbox. Obozim finished the mailboxes, hadn't even claimed one for himself yet. And I traipsed on in and put down a mailbox. I'm the first one with a head. No, on the Bedrock server, Wolfwood is all about the Wolfwood's wet jerky. Just ask Stormy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I can put one in here. Let's try this again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the post. Now it was like a 1-block walk around buildings, so I've got to tear out this part. That's okay, I'll terraform it after I take the building down. Yeah, spawn is a bit unstable, and I'm not quite sure why. By the way, James, were you the one, not responsible for, sorry, creator of, I guess, the, oops, the chicken thing majigger? That's a really stupid way of putting it. The chicken hole, I guess? I shouldn't have left an egg carton. Nope, that wasn't me. Though it should be. That's actually why I was asking. Okay. Good to know. Then, I just don't want to offend the person who dug the hole. I mean, it's probably not super critical to them, but, I just don't want to offend that person because I'm still thinking I'm going to probably put up a shop and sell, like, some sort of do-it-yourself chicken farms. Just because I have far too many eggs, so it makes it easy for me to get rid of them. Okay, I'll probably want that for terraforming later, so let's just put it in the box. Get it out of the way. One, two, three. Oops. So I can't count. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there. How did I? Hang on a sec. Oh, that's why, because I messed the whole thing up. Dylan can't count, seriously. There we go, that's better. And I also know that 31 won't be enough to get me across all these posts too often. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this one. This is why it takes me a year and a half to finish a base, is because I keep building and unbuilding. I was just about to complain, I don't know why I've got extras, and then I remembered why I had extras. Of course, now I need all those other 3 across the top, right? Isn't that how it goes? All right. Oops. Needed those for a second. Might reduce lying to kill the chickens off, or at the very least most of the chickens. Yep, if they want chickens, they can come see me. Not for business purposes, just because I have far too many eggs. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you the number of chests here. These aren't all full, but up to, yeah, so the third row from the right, second chest up, so those 9 over there, these 2, and those 2 are rapidly filling, and then I just move them across. So I mean, hey, I could kill off the chickens. I mean, that would be a possibility. Okay. Now that makes sense, sort of. Okay, and I needed it to be... I wanted to put the thing in there, so I'm going to go in this wall. I was actually going to physically do it, and I don't need to. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18. Okay. So, I mean, it's got to be 9 units long, which takes me... 6 is 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Wow, we're gonna need a lot more space. Okay. So I'm going to lay it out with slabs, and then I can pick those up. You come in the door. You're not really going to get any chance to do much of anything. It's just going to fit. Okay, so let's see, I've got... Chests will be... If I do it the same as I did before, I need to have 1 corner. Okay. Yeah. Let's actually have the chests come in. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the chests. I'm going to have a corner. Well, that's not going to work anyways. Needed it 7 wide, right? That's what I said my actual unit was. How did I do it the last time? Okay. We've got pillar, pillar, which I can share, pillar, and the overhang. And I just need to see where how the corners worked out. How sharp was I able to make them? Okay, 1 block turn, we're good. So 1 block turn here should get me a double chest there and there. These will be our chests. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3, 4. Okay, then we've got dirt in the middle. 2 units, 3 units, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's gonna be a little bigger than expected. That's okay. Oops. That's not what I meant. Seven units, 8 units, and then I got a couple more blocks back. Okay, so we've got, counting this correctly, so we've got 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8? Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to go 9 here, which is going to have a back wall off of that, so another couple blocks. I guess my guess was correct the first time around. All right. Well, we're making progress slowly. So I have a few eggs, as we saw. That was the question, or the thing. So the plan is to potentially put together, DIY farm kits, which is a few chickens, and I'm debating whether I'm going to make them chicken cooker kits, or whether it'll just be an egg collector, kind of like what I've already got. Most likely it'll probably be a full-on cooker box. But I'm not actually really too fussed about the pricing and so on. Okay, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, post, skip, post. These are wrong, but I'll fix them anyways later. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Don't ask. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be almost as big as the other one. Insanity. Post, skip, post, 1, 2, 3. Post. Whoops, not that one. Post. Skip. Post, skip, post. Okay. With one gap behind. Which means that I can probably even, not just take this back, but I'll probably even be able to move the farm units back, which is kind of silly because then I end up with a weird gap at the front, but I can pop people in the door, I guess. Never do anything by halves. I never do anything in one round either. Alright. Fill the hole. Post, skip, post, and then I need to cut this one straight across. And we'll figure out terracing and whatever afterwards. Because yurt's up there, so that's going to be a problem. Alright. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I am forever redoing this roof. Yeah, I'm still surprised at Fantastic Short Foxes. Into my base, has stepped outside my base, has logged out at my base, but still doesn't know where the yurt is. Flower, go away. Seed, go away. Wait, that should have been more than 3. Really? Come on. Alright. And then I'm going to take the other 3 down. 2, sorry. This one and that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're gonna 7 is what I was supposed to get. I was trying to figure out why I didn't have as many as I thought I did. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This one, that one. 1, 2, 3. Oops. This one and that one. Because once again, I can't count. All right. Got one. One left. So, yeah. The roofing would be next, but we're going to need a lot more spruce. Therefore, I'm going to dump a lot of this off and go spruce hunting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that we haven't seen me do this before. Nothing new there. Those can go here. There. Buttons. And do I have spare food? I do indeed. Okay. Choppity chop time. Okay. Fantastic Sherlock Fox, this is for you. So if you were looking at the main gate, you came out the main gate. We go up over the hill. Hippity hop like a little bunny. There is a yurt. There is a yurt. Which apparently has had a run-in with a zombie. So at the moment, the yurt needs a door. Yeah. There you go. What confused Fantastic Sherlock Fox, for those of you that are curious, is there's, in my castle, the portal that you see sort of way out, but in one of the towers, goes to the nether roof, so people actually arrive from the nether roof inside the castle. And then this one over here goes to the normal nether, like the lower section. And I had 2 beehives full of 8 bees, but they went and, did that whole despawn thing because that's my luck. And apparently I have footy trees over here too. I must have... Oh, I know what I did here. I didn't get it all because I rubber banded, I think. Because you can't really see what's going on in there. Oh, and I did not bring... Oh well, because that's going to stay there. I did not bring my safety boots. Arg. That's so nice to be able to fly now. Okay, safety boots, diamond hoe, we're good. Safety boots, go back in the box. 1. No, if I get 1 shulker full, then I'm more than ready to go. I don't even know if I have my hack on. Oh yeah, I do. So I don't know if you can see these, but this is the death snow, this red stuff, and then the blue is the normal. Alrighty. Oops. Let's place things. Can you tell this is where I got distracted before? Okay, active. How tall is this one? I can reach that from here. Doody-doo. We need a new geek out. Those 2 songs about motorcycles didn't work. Let's see. Name 2 shows on which a character breaks the 4th wall. So for those of you that are not familiar with the term, to break the 4th wall is basically when you have your character talk to the audience. Normally, the characters won't do that because that ruins the disbelief element of watching the show as though it's their world. But 4th wall breaking is popular in some shows, not in others. I mean, strangely enough, they even broke the 4th wall when they were doing Spaceballs. Wrong one. Okay. Are these not going to despawn? Hmm. I mean, we've had plenty of fourth wall breaking in Ooze Lines anyways, but I'm not really sure that would really count a whole lot because that one's an improv show. And the characters are just being silly, making fun of making love to the camera. Oh no! Talking to me is probably part of what affected that. Take this one with me. Ow. So Fantastic Sherlock Fox also plays on this server. That's a recent change. And unfortunately, zombies don't like him, apparently. Sorry to hear that. Which, I don't know where he is right now. He logged out at my base a while back. I don't know if he's still there, if he's on the way back to his own base, or what the deal is. But, yeah, it's... You can probably blame it on stream, even if that wasn't the case. Just pretend you got distracted, right? 59 blocks. That won't get us very far in our build, so we still need some more. Where are we with relation to the base? Okay, that's not too bad. I wish I could find spruce closer, but other than growing them myself, which just takes time, then I might as well just cut this zone out. Okay, stack on 18. We're getting there. Can I get up there? No. How high is that? Oh yeah, I can get that. One of the other perks to Java is that you can actually go ahead and do baby zombie gotcha. Ow! That's not much fun. Those little rotters are fast. Is that connected? No, it's not. All right. So the reason I don't stream on Thursday evenings, as pleasant as that would be, is that that's when I do the scout thing. And I was mentioning this morning, actually, so not many of you were here then, so I'll go ahead and reiterate the story. Tomorrow, we are actually taking the scouts and the older section, the venturers, on a trip to our local courthouse. One of our scout leaders is, at the venturer level, is a sheriff for the courts. Even though we don't usually use the term sheriff as far as like road police go, or pardon me, on the beat police go, this gentleman is a sheriff for the courthouse, so he got permission to bring the scouts in on a tour. And then the venturers heard the scouts were going on a tour and thought, well, that was just too cool for them to miss out, so they wanted to come too. You know, and it's like, far be it from him to say, no, my own section can't go. I mean, particularly considering the older section is the one that's slightly more likely to be seeing the courthouse from the inside for the wrong reasons. So it's probably a good thing that they get to see it the first time around. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So our meeting is going to start earlier than usual, and we get to, as scout leaders, we get to park in the parking spots normally reserved for the cops. So I think that's kind of fun too. I know it sounds like, to Fantastic Sherlock Fox, like I was making a big deal out of that part, but I think it's kind of fun. You know, you don't normally get preferred parking at a courthouse. But we were very generally warned, you know, don't bring your knife and your scout knife and things like that. And I can vouch for that. They're very good at the security stuff. It's not just knives in general. I was there a few years ago for a jury selection. I didn't get picked, but I had to go anyways. And I had what they call a Swiss card. So basically, it's a little basically it's a Swiss Army knife in a credit card. And what it has is just a really small, like a 2-inch blade or something, with tweezers and, you know, pen and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a few different models, but the Swiss card I had gotten from Fantastic Sherlock Fox, and I think it's technically still his. I just sort of absconded with it. But anyways, I went to the jury selection and completely forgot I had it, because since I switched to a pocket knife for a lot of things, for scouting and stuff, it didn't even occur to me that I was still carrying the Swiss card in my day-to-day ladies' purse, or like the little shoulder bag I use as a purse. And so I got pulled at security, and they were debating whether or not they were going to take it away, which was fine. I mean, like, the thing is, I wouldn't have got it back. That's what happens when they take it away. They destroy them. They don't let you get it back on your way out, which is kind of too bad. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and it wasn't a long moment of figuring. I mean, because the line had been moving smoothly and then suddenly stopped. The supervisor came over and he had a look and wanted to know what was the big deal, that this fine lady was getting held up and wasn't able to get through. So the gentleman on staff showed her the little Swiss card thing, and he's like, "You can do more damage with a golf pencil." So they let me keep it. But they did ask what I was going to be using it for, and the whole reason I even carry anything like that was because one of the things I do when I'm bored waiting for something is I do basically friendship bracelets out of embroidery thread. And I didn't bring my knitting that day because I was fairly certain that they weren't going to let my knitting needles through, because it was not too long after the American Towers and stuff, and so I really didn't think they were going to let me, because I couldn't take them on the airplane. So, I just assumed, which, yeah, assuming, I've got a whole story about assuming, but generally it makes you look like a fool. But in any case, so I didn't bring my knitting, and yeah, I got to get through with the Swiss card, because of course you could probably hurt somebody more with a golf pencil. But this time around, I'm going to make sure I just don't take it in the first place, because I'm sure that we've got some enterprising teenagers that could probably figure out how to inconveniently show off to the security what you can do with them. So I'll just leave that thing at home. I mean, the other strange piece I got questioned on, although they sort of went, is this thing sharp? And then just let it go, was I've got a ceramic nail file. But it's not even like a stick, it's actually a circle. So it's just a circular disc. So how you could really hurt somebody with the corner of a circular disc that isn't really, it's only barely sharp, rough enough to go after your nails. I don't know how you hurt somebody with that. I could see my knitting needles though, because I tend to prefer to knit with circular needles that have a cable between. And you could probably hurt somebody with that. I could think of 2 or 3 ways how, but if I talked about it on stream, it suddenly belies the family-friendly tag, and that's not what I'm looking for. Being Canadian, we don't get to be armed. So, yeah. Maybe I should walk in with a golf pencil one of these days. Actually, they'd probably take that away too. But my kids were kind of curious about when you're part of a jury, why you'd end up staying in a hotel. And that doesn't happen for every case. Just usually the super big ones, and only during deliberations. I'm allowed to bring the physical arms attached to me, James, but we're not allowed to bring weapons of any sort whatsoever. And I'll admit, my punching skill is such that these arms wouldn't be weapons at all. I was noting on stream not too long ago, in regards to a comment I was making on personal image, as in what I think of my personal image, and noting that I was trying to elbow somebody recently, and I've gotten to the point where the elbow wasn't pointy. It was actually a dimple, which is a little bit embarrassing. So, yeah. There we go. Oh, of course, and this is the Silk Touch hoe. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't destroying things. Okay. So, anyway, yeah. These arms would not be weaponized anymore. That's okay. We get to go on cool trips to the courthouse nonetheless. And actually, honestly, this particular scout leader isn't all that buff either, so I don't feel quite that bad. He's definitely your hamburger-eating white guy, but not the hefty donut-eating variety. So, it'll be interesting to see, but he'll still be wearing his uniform, which I think is cool, because he was debating whether or not he got permission to wear his scout uniform for the tour instead, but he wasn't sure which one he wanted to do. And so the kids got to vote, and they decided he should be wearing his sheriff uniform because they just thought that'd be cool. Okay, sure. Whatever floats your boat, kids. I'll take that. I mean, I do feel kind of bad for people who forget about things. And I know it sounds silly, but my brother forgot about stuff when he had to go on an airplane at one point. And it wasn't something silly. I can see why they made him take it off, but the shipping from the local city airport, I mean, we are an international grade airport, but the shipping from the airport to our home was like $30 or something for my brother to try and ship home his scout chain. So basically, as a scout in Canada, they used to be able to earn, as part of your Chief Scout Award, you'd get like a chain. So if you were getting your Chief Scout, you would get like a chrome-colored chain, and you just wear it on your shoulder. The girls in Girl Guides did like cord, so you probably wouldn't want to use it for anything else, but the Scouts did chains, which look pretty cool. Like, they're not big things, nice decorative stuff. And but my brother decided that after he was done with Scouts, that he was going to use his, rather than save it for Scouts, because, I mean, he was, well and truly done with that part of his life, that he was going to use it to connect his wallet to his pocket, because he had actually previously had a mugging attempt and wanted to make sure that he couldn't also get pickpocketed. That was his thing. So he regularly wore his chain on his belt with his wallet attached. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't fly at the airport, no bad puns intended. So he was told to leave it behind, in which case stuff not collected or sent home, I think they collected 3 days or something. Anything that was not collected or sent home was going to be, thrown out, destroyed, etc. And so he was weighing it, but it was like $30 to ship from our city airport to my mother's house in the same city. And he wasn't going to be back in like the 72 hours or whatever it was that they had as their maximum amount of time, because he was headed to a student work abroad program in Britain. So from Western Canada to Britain, there was no way on a 2-year work abroad program that he was actually going to be, spending. And hindsight 2020, I would have spent the $30 at that point, even though it's an absurdly outrageous amount. But he didn't, and it turns out, of course, needless to say, they discontinued that part of the program, and now he can't get them replaced, which is a bit of a shame. Destruction, I don't really want the leaves, but I don't really like them hanging out, because then mobs hang out underneath them. Okay. Did I get everything that looks spruce-ish around here? I think I did. Naked Hill? Naked Snow Hill? Oh, did I miss one? Nope, that's... wrong tree. Wrong type. It looks like I got it all. I could probably fall in a hole from here. Aye! Yeah. Ow? Okay, so, deforestation? Ouch. Well done, James, well done. Okay, so we've got no more spruce on this side. Excellent. Interesting. So with this free cam, it will load and unload up to a certain point, and then it doesn't load anything more. Huh. Neato. Back to the project. Just for a couple more minutes, and then we'll find someone interesting to raid to. Now we have some wood. Because one unit just isn't quite enough. Yeah, even if I put this right up against the doors at the front, right in this gap here, it still wouldn't work with just one more row at the back. I think I do need two, in which case I might as well load load it right back to the back. Ooh. Right, that's that side. I was thinking I was going to put slabs in for the roof, but I don't think I will. I'm actually going to tear, or maybe not even tear some of that out. I might even just go get some more of the bales I've got hiding and do a thatch roof for this one. Okay, so what do we got? This one, this one, 1, 2. Yeah. Ouch. Wasn't smart. It was worse than SMRT. Come on. How come? There we go. No. This way. There we go. All right. So I've got the building a little longer. And the width is going to take off part of this hill, which is a little concerning because if I go into the hill, we actually don't have all that much thickness before we end up in a cavern. So this one's not bad. Actually, now that I got it lit up, I don't mind taking that one out. It will be okay. That landing smarts, SMRT. Okay. Do I do both ends? All right. I've got slabs going across and I've got full blocks. That's okay. Thank you very much for the follow, Luke. I appreciate that. So what we need back is we need those two back. I can return that. Don't have any space for it anyways. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So theoretically, this should be slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they should be the other kind of slabs. We've got lots of height. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the follow, Luke. All right. On the inside, the outside. You got Elmo! Elmo got new followers. Sorry, that was cheesy. And the back end looks like it's strip logs all the way up. Same sort of pattern though. So it's probably stripped this way. Come on. There we go. Two, three, 1, 2, 3, 5. Yep. And then 1, 2, 3. And I need to do same thing I did at the front, actually. I have far too many leaves and I don't want them. Let's do this. One, two. That'll do it. All right. So, Luke, I'm just curious, what was it that brought you in? What was it that attracted your attention about the site? About the channel? I'm working on a barn that's actually going to be for the cattle and the sheep, but I didn't actually... Huh? What we got going on there? Weird. I built this design once before, but strangely, it doesn't look the same as I did before, and I don't know why. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. So the one I was working on went into deco next, which is not what I'm going to do. Went to the next part of the farm. What do they do on the sides? They went into... Not sure what they did there. Still working on roofing, which I'm not going to do. Okay, well, I guess they say roofing. Fine, let's do roofing. We can do roofing. Roofing. Oh! Old joke. I'm just throwing that there for now because we really don't need it. These two. Yep. All right. Should do the trick. So basically, like this one, I'm going to redo the roof that way, this style. So it's going to be a little different than the previous version of this place, but that's another reason I made it 4 blocks high, is because then it won't hang over quite so badly on the sides. Come on. I may have to put the beacon up just to get haste. This is a silly thing to do. How did I do that last time? Oh, whoops. Whoops. Okay, let's go this way. And take this one out. Yeah, I did what I thought I did. Leaves, where are you? Let's go like this. You're just jumping in and finding some other random streamers? Sure, no problem. Don't know about the helping part per se, but that's just because, whoop, we have ourselves a good community. Ow. Up. Go. This one goes. This. So this will probably be the last, what do we call it? The last hill champion for the day. And then we will take a look at who's available, because it's after the top of the hour, and we'll see if we can raid ourselves out. Let's do 1, 2, 3. You have 2 people? Who's that, Stormy? Who would you recommend? Because it's Wednesday and all. I'm always open to ideas. Oh yes, Zero's a good one. Or Richie. I know I've rated Zero before, he's familiar with me, so maybe I'll head over there. I'm not being anti-Slack's community, I just haven't met Richie, so I'd want to get a feel for whether or not his style fits with ours. But I think we can probably do that. He's, looks like Zeroed is exploding stuff in Minecraft Hardcore. That sounds like a blast. No bad puns intended. Wow. That was totally not... Yeah, never mind. Alright, so... I will probably continue working on this one during the stream because I'm just that kind of person. And hopefully we can get more of this going so that we can get on to the next part of it tomorrow. So want to say thank you to everybody, and I will get the raid hopefully started. Let's see if my cheaty buttons actually work today. Do. And maybe not. There we go. Congratulations, Mr. Owl, for winning with the toilet plunger. You'll see the 2 raid messages up on screen. Feel free to choose the one that applies to you. And then we can all head our way out. If you guys have any comments or questions or whatever, feel free to leave them in the Discord, which you'll find in the About section. And in the meantime, say hi to Zeroed. I will probably join you there shortly and see most of you guys tomorrow. So my next stream tomorrow will be, this is in Mountain Time, if I can find my button. There we go. Oh, it's going to come up on the screen. That's not going to help anybody. My stream tomorrow will be, if I could think about this, noon Eastern or 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, we'll be working more on the shed. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.